Are you guys ready to sing?
We're ready. All the raindrops and gummy bears and milkshakes.
So gay.
Perfect! Yay! Excellent job, guys. Has everybody noticed that we have Superman here today? She flies, obviously. Welcome to Gay for Justin, another fabulous episode here. We are with Brian Rosenberg, who is the co-founder of Gays with Kids.
We help gay dads navigate fatherhood.
Exactly. And when I discovered that there was a whole channel based on this, I was like, we have to collaborate. We did collaborate a little bit on a video on their channel.
Things people ask gay dads. Justin was in it and he was awesome.
There'll be a link in the description too for that video. Tell us about how this came about first.
So Gays with Kids?
Yeah.
And my husband Ferd and I became first-time dads about 6 years ago. We went to some of the big box retailers and I swear like almost everything had labels that said, "Mommy tested, mommy approved."
Yeah.
"Made by moms with love."
Yeah.
"For moms, by moms."
Yeah.
And at some point I remember looking at Ferd saying, "Are we not supposed to buy this stuff?"
Yeah.
And I was only half kidding. At some point I began to feel sort of alienated or excluded and thinking this is not for us.
Yeah.
So we went home and said, okay, let's see what's online.
Yeah.
And back then, not only was there nothing for gay dads, but there was really very little for dads, period.
Right. It's all focused on what
All
mom can do
focused
for the
on
kids.
mom.
And had you always wanted kids?
I had always wanted kids. Back in my days, you know, when I was your age, I'm HIV positive and I have been since I was 25.
Okay.
And back then, you know, we were back in the 90s, we were just wondering, were we going to be alive?
Yeah.
So no one thought long enough, far enough ahead to think,
Yeah.
you know, about parenthood, and certainly it just wasn't an option.
Yeah.
But I've always loved kids and always hoped I could be a dad. And so when it finally came to reality and I just really wanted to be able to connect with other gay dads, I realized there was not yet a platform to be able to do that. And so we said, hey, let's create Gays with Kids.
Yeah. You mentioned when you first started looking, there was like everything's for moms. Was
Right.
it different in Canada or was it?
No, I mean, I'll tell you one of our favorite stores, and I love this store. It's called For Moms to Be In More. And that is the store that anyone in the greater Toronto area goes to.
Yeah.
I said, I can't go into a store called For Moms to Be In More. I actually called them up and said, you know, I'm not a mom, my husband's not a mom,
Yes,
but we are dads, can we come? And they ended up being so sweet and so nice. But again, it was like, you know, just to get in there, I felt uncomfortable. Still, a lot of the stuff here is very mummy-centric.
All of a sudden you have to redo all this, we're gay.
It's true. I came out of the closet, I was like 27.
Okay.
So
Which still seems late to me, but I feel like I came out late too, compared to when I hear about people coming out in high school now.
Which I say, that's awesome.
I think it's amazing.
Fantastic.
Do you feel like you can come out in high school?
I wish I had done it. And so everything we do, we're the gay dads. And we're having to come out, whether it's to the teachers, to the principals, to the doctors, to parents when we drop our kids off for play dates or parties. One of my all-time favorite pieces on Gays with Kids is called The Gayest I've Ever Been.
Yeah.
He and I have lived in the South End in Boston, Chelsea and Hell's Kitchen in New York City. We've gone to lots of parties and all-night dance parties, big fundraisers, fabulous, you know, vacations without gay guys. And we thought that was the gayest you could ever possibly be. The gayest we've ever been is when we're dads living in a non-gay environment because everyone looks at us and they're like, oh, those are the gay dads.
I feel like this is something we can start talking about as gay people. Like, what do we really want? People to say nothing?
We definitely want people to ask questions.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they're going to learn. That's how they're going to become educated. I think that gay dad families and lesbian families have helped tremendously the effort of gay marriage, equal marriage. Just, you know, watch it. Sometimes you ask questions that are just too personal.
If you think about a question and you wouldn't feel comfortable asking a straight couple, why in the world would you ask a gay couple? You mentioned that you did it through surrogacy. Was adoption just something that wasn't even for gay dads at that time?
No, we actually tried to do adoption first, and adoption the way it works in the States even today with equal marriage across the country.
Which is amazing! I cried a little bit when it happened. Yeah.
I cried a lot then.
Yeah.
We thought we had a 6-month-old baby boy, and his mother said she wanted us. We went back and forth a few times, and then when we were supposed to do the enough, she sort of went AWOL, and so we thought, I guess we're not going to become dads through adoption. Let's look into other means, and that was how we came up with surrogacy.
Amazing. Now, adoption and surrogacy, are those basically the only options?
No, lots of ways. So many gay dads become dads through foster care, and sometimes foster care becomes a permanent placement, foster to adopt.
Yeah.
Other gay dads co-parent, so
Gotcha.
they could be doing, I think the most typical way that an out gay dad is co-parenting is usually with a lesbian
Yep.
woman or a lesbian couple,
Yep.
and they figure out how they're gonna, share custody.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not a full 50-50
Yeah.
share. There are all different ways to do that.
Totally.
And of course, many gay dads, king dads, what I call the old-fashioned way, through relationships with women,
Okay.
all thinking they were gonna live the heterosexual lifestyle.
Okay.
Either they come out and then separate, or separate and then come out.
Yeah.
I think it's probably more common.
Yeah.
I have yet to find two stories that were exactly
They're
the same.
I know I will be a father someday. I just know that in my body. I always think like having a dog is like the best way to get ready to have a child. Correct?
110%. This is why we have children, is because it do. All of a sudden, for the first time, our lives were not just self-centered.
Just your relationship.
Right. So we actually did an article on long-term couples, which we defined as being together for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
But the truth is, most of those guys were together for 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
Who then became dads, and how did that affect their relationships? We wanted to know.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out everyone had the same response, which is it just made them love their partner,
Yeah.
boyfriend, husband more, because
Yeah.
they saw him acting, in a way that showed how much care
Yeah.
and love he could have for another human, their child. or
Never
something.
thought of it that way. To be more attracted to your partner
Crazy,
because
right?
you're watching them love your
Your child.
child.
Yeah.
I feel like gay men of my generation are starting to talk about this way more.
I love that.
Which
have to
I
tell
do
you,
love
I
too.
love that.
Like when I meet somebody, that's a make or break. Like I want my viewers to know that there is a place to go where you can learn so much about this because there's so many ways to do it. Check out Brian's channel because there's lots and lots of information about becoming a dad and just what all these gay dads are going through. Thank you for watching. Tune in again next week. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Thumbs up if you like Brian and his channel, and we'll see you next week.
Keep on watching his channel.
Y'all stay fabulous now. I wish I could birth a child. I really wish I could.
I don't know if you have birthing
unfortunate.
hips or not.
I know.